something about buying a black colored tripod and then just mounting this iPhone on it just feels natural. It feels like this iPhone was actually made for vlogging and video recording, or business, because of how it looks. It's a nice looking phone, especially for 7 years ago when the Samsung S7 was already out. That phone looked pretty good, but this phone feels more premium despite having a metal back. Seriously, a metal back looks really nice, despite the glass back being so much fancier and supporting wireless charging. To be fair, wireless charging is only if your charging port stops working. That's usually if you go into, like, the sea, salt water. Why would you want to go in salt water in the first place unless you're stupid or very bad with holding your phone? But holding his phone on a tripod and looking at the back, it just looks really nice with that dual cameras. With the dual camera, nice black matte finish. I just like holding it, but I do get nervous holding it in the first place without a case, despite how nice it looks without one. It's really nice feel in the hand, and it still feels modern, even though it obviously isn't. And I gotta say, day 2 using this phone, oh my god. Yes. That's all I can say, just yes. I like holding this phone, I like using it. It's nice, it still films really good video for its age at least. Especially considering the fact that this phone is 7 years old. It's nearly almost half the same, it's almost half my age. I am gonna be 16 soon, so I didn't even realize I was filming in 4K. So that part of the video might look better, even though it's gonna be downscaled to 1080p, so. Because that's how 4K works, video, yeah. It honestly, hold on, I gotta show you in the mirror this phone again. It seriously looks so nice on a tripod. And it doesn't feel heavy, it's like really light. So it's not gonna fall out of the tripod, it's not gonna move the tripod around compared to my S22 Ultra, which is 300 grams with the case. What? It's like around 200 grams without the case and 270 with the case, which is ridiculous. This phone feels like nothing. It feels like air in my hand. When I put it in my jacket pocket, because it was cold outside, so I pulled out my leather jacket, put the phone in my breast pocket. Couldn't even feel it. Couldn't feel it was there, while my S22 Ultra is like, hey. I can tell when I have my phone with me, when I have my main Android phone. This one is so light, I barely notice it. To be fair, the newer iPhones, they use, stainless steel instead of aluminum, armored aluminum, which is really heavy, but does it last longer? Is steel better? Probably, yeah. But seriously, still 7 years old, and it pulls really well. I know one of my not my YouTubers. I know one of my favorite YouTubers, PlayNarc124. He daily drives an iPhone, and I've been watching him ever since he got, he was moving on from his 5S to an iPhone SE. And ever since I saw the iPhone SE, I was like, 4K video recording on such a tiny phone, same amount of power as an iPhone 6S. Looks pretty nice. I might buy it one day. But in my country, at least, they don't sell the SE refurbished. They sell the 5S, which is similar to the SE, for $100, 64 gigs. So if I ever want a phone just for calls, I probably get an iPhone. Like, if I need a phone for traveling that's lightweight, doesn't take up a lot of space, but has a lot of space inside, storage-wise, I'll probably get an iPhone 8 Plus, or an X, or an iPhone X. But if I just need a phone for traveling, to quickly pop my SIM into it, I'd probably use an iPhone as a second phone. Because I'm definitely going to keep using this iPhone even after I stop this 1 week challenge. And honestly, I think this iPhone has been just slowly fitting into my everyday life really quite smoothly. Still, the fact that I can't change the camera mid-video, to the front camera, I can live with that. That's doable. Video is still good for 7 years old. Words. it's slowly going from, oh, I have to do, oh no, 1 week of iPhone challenge, to, oh, I'm just using this iPhone normally. You know, it's no longer like, oh, I'm using a phone as a challenge. It's just fitting into my everyday life smoothly, like quite smoothly. Because I went from a 1-year-old phone to a 7-year-old phone, which I thought was going to be a big problem. You know, like, oh no, old phone. No, it pulls. It still pulls. I've been playing a lot of Among Us on this phone, which is ironic because I don't really play Among Us. I haven't played it in years. I got it recommended in the App Store, Apple App Store, and it was really good. It's really fun to play Among Us on this phone because of these bezels. I gotta say, the big bezels on this phone, like on the sides, they're actually really helpful for playing games because you don't accidentally touch the screen. But the phone is actually so thin that I really want to get a case on it just to hold it more comfortably. It's so thin in my hand, it's actually hard to hold it. That's how thin it is, which is surprising. Seriously, just looking at how thin it is, I'm like, what? How? Plus the battery life, really impressive. Really impressive. Good job, Apple. You make good batteries. Well, not just batteries. Obviously, software-wise, they're really on the next level when it comes to actually making smaller batteries last, which is a good thing. So imagine if like an iPhone had a 5,000 milliamp hour battery. That thing would last for what? Oh, like maybe even a day, like an entire day of heavy usage, 24 hours, not just one day, aka 12 hours, like day, including the night, which is ironic because my S22 Ultra boasts, I can last an entire day. Dead, nope. I go to school with 85%, I am in school for like 6 to 7 hours, I get home, 40%. I start the day at 7 a.m. at 85%, and you're saying you're dead. Explain that, Michael. But, anyways, stop trying this video. I like the iPhone and the iPad. That's the iPad case. Whoops. Like, I've always thought like, okay, iPads are really good, and I honestly think Android tablets can't really compare to how well optimized iPads are. Like even before I switched to this iPhone for a week, I've always thought that iPads are definitely superior. But if like in my country, for some reason, every Apple product is purposefully overpriced. Because I was able to get like a Samsung tablet for cheaper, but if I could get an iPad at a realistic price, not inflated price by my goddamn country, I would probably buy an iPad instead of a Samsung tablet or any other Android tablet. I put this case on. Oh. What? Oh, I've been putting it on wrong. Oops. Other way around. Okay, that's not how you do it. There we go. Figured it out. But yeah, 256 gigs of storage on an iPhone is still better than a half a terabyte on an Android from Samsung. Like, why is the storage almost 100 gigs full from the box with an S23 Ultra with half a terabyte of storage? Almost 100 gigs, and I haven't even done anything. My data isn't copied yet, none of my photos are copied yet, none of my apps are downloaded yet. I got bloatware from Google, I got bloatware from Samsung, I got bloatware from Android, I got bloatware from my data provider. Why do I have all that bloatware? For what? I have Samsung internet, and then I have Chrome as well. I don't need two browsers. If I want another browser, I tell you to download it. But no, you already have it preloaded. What's the point with having two browsers? Can't I uninstall one? No, you can only disable the Samsung. Why can I only disable the Samsung one? But I can easily uninstall the Google Chrome one. You know, this is probably why iPhones are so much more expensive. Because iPhones don't come with bloatware. Their software is more optimized for their phones because they don't make a bajillion of them like Samsung. Well, to be fair, Samsung does fit in more majority of people because they have like phones for people that don't have a lot of money or don't want to spend a lot of money on the phone if they only need it for calls and texting. Or they just want a phone for their kid, you know, their child. iPhone is more of the people that want to like actively use their phone for a long time without having to charge it every 2 minutes. It's a premium phone for a reason, from a premium brand for a reason. They're a trillionaire company for a reason. Oh my god, that's a big number. They're a trillionaire company also because some of their chargers, well, actually a lot of their chargers, they break easily. Yeah, I won't deny that. That's probably one of the reasons why they're a trillionaire company. But they do make good phones. People need, like other companies just follow Apple because Apple is the main brand. And oh my god, I can't believe I'm saying any of this, but it's true. Apple is leading the market. They're like the top dog when it comes to phones. They already know what they're doing. They've been doing this for a long time. They first did it in 2007, the year I was born. That's how long they've been doing it. It's crazy. Hey, monkey. But yeah. Oh my god, 10 minutes. I'm gonna cut this video as soon as possible. But iPhones, well, yes, iPhones don't have that much RAM. I think the newest iPhone has like 6 or 8 gigs of RAM. They're not even in double digits when it comes to gigabytes. While some gaming phones are like, oh, 16 gigabytes, 18 gigabytes. One Samsung was like 16 gigabytes S22 Ultra, whoa. And I'm just like, you have all that RAM, and yet your RAM usage is even more than the previous phone. What's the point in having more RAM if I can't even use that more RAM because you're using 4 gigs in the background? 4 gigabytes, and I have no apps open. I just restarted the phone, 4 gigs used out of 12. You only leave me 8 gigabytes. What is this BS? The iPhone has good software optimization. Seriously, the optimization on iPhones for software is so much better than Android. Like, I used to use an S9 Plus. It's like, oh, I have 6 gigs, 2 gigs used in the background. Okay, that's okay. Then I get an S22 Ultra. Okay, I have 12 gigs and 4 gigs, or 8 gigs using the storage. Sorry, we're just gonna use 4 gigs with the main storage in the background, instead of the slower one. I'm like, why are you doing that? Use the slower storage for background apps. Didn't you say that was the reason for RAM Plus? And they're just like, I'm just using main RAM instead. Why? What are you doing in the background? Are you mining cryptocurrency? What the hell? But yeah, cutting this video as soon as possible. Oh my. If I need a laptop, I'd probably buy a MacBook. Like a MacBook Pro or a MacBook Air. Because I want either a big laptop or a big... no, wait. I either want a smaller laptop that's more powerful, or if I want to get a big MacBook, like a big laptop, I'd probably get the Air. Because one, I don't need all that performance on a big screen, and two, it will be very good for portability because that battery, oh my god, it just lasts, basically. Like my Asus laptop, just boasting like, oh, we switched to built-in graphics on the CPU so your battery lasts even longer when you're on the road. It didn't even last me to Croatia. That was like less than 2 hours of trip. I started at 100. I used battery saver. I did like all the battery cutting measures. I used built-in graphics. I turned on battery saver. I turned down my brightness. Boom, dead in like an hour. I wasn't even gaming. I was just watching YouTube and had my Bluetooth headphones. Nope, dead. And the MacBook, you can just run it at full power while you're on the go, and it can last you like what, 10 hours on the Air or Pro? What? Same goes for iPads. iPads are crazy powerful. I wouldn't consider them computers, but I would definitely consider them really powerful for something that's considered a tablet. Like, it's a tablet. How is a tablet so powerful? I mean, yeah, it's a bit large space, but still. Apple Watch might consider it because these Samsung watches, the band is just not meant to last. It says it can last water. No, it's leather. I should have known. Leather is not meant to be like in water all the time, especially genuine leather. Oh yeah, genuine. Especially when you sweat. That sweat goes into the watch band, leather watch band, and then it's gonna smell forever and also make it fall apart even faster. Just because you sweat. What the hell? And the watch was over 300. What the hell? 300 for a non-LTE watch? Why? What else? The AirPods also sound pretty good, but I don't really need headphones right now. But like those AirPods Max, like headphones, those are really good. But oh my god, are they ever expensive? So if I'm rich, maybe I'd consider like buying more Apple products. But I'm not rich, so I'm probably not gonna buy that many Apple products. A laptop, I choose Apple. Desktop, I'd probably go with like my own build. You know, build yourself a PC and then just run virtual machine with macOS. You know, so I have Windows and then a slightly slower version of macOS. I already told you, tablet definitely gonna be iPad. Watch, if I do end up owning an iPhone after 5 years of owning my S22 Ultra, I will definitely consider an iPhone. It will definitely be like one of my options. I'm like a big Samsung fan, and the fact that Samsung has been slowly driving me away with cutting features like, oh, sorry, no more headphone jack. It's like, why no headphone jack? Headphone jacks are really inexpensive. They don't take up that much space. Too bad. So, okay, no headphone jack. I can deal with that. At least we have micro SD. Yeah, sorry, we're gonna cut micro SD. Like, why the hell do you want to cut micro SD? I know it's because of money. I absolutely know it's because of the money. You profit more because we have to buy more storage at the start because we don't know how much we'll need in the future. And we can't just have a like, you have any idea how long it takes to use USB-C to USB-C data travel? Like, seriously, I use the fast USB-C cable that can charge a laptop. Like it has the power to charge a MacBook Pro at full power. It's like 70 or more watts of power in that one cable I used, and it's also braided. And I plugged it into my phone. I plugged it into the USB-C port on my laptop. You know how slow it was? You have any idea how slow it was traveling data? Oh, 20%. Okay. It was so slow. It was so unbelievably slow. I wanted to transfer like 100 gigabytes of videos onto my computer. Like, my computer has an M.2 SSD, NVMe. It's not cacherless. It has a cache on it. You know how slow that was? It was ungodly slow. 50 megabytes. Like 50 megabytes per second. Peak. The average was like what, 20 to 30. So it took forever to copy all those videos. I had to do other stuff. I couldn't even use my phone because the slight movement of that USB-C cable, my phone was like, oh, okay, over, okay, it's done, okay, cool. I'm like, well, why did you end that quick, man? Keep the connection. You barely lost any. Like, seriously, I just do this. Look. I do that. Disconnected, and it's a good cable. I bought it recently. I paid $17 for it. Definitely paid too much, but seriously, why? How? Stupid. Stop doing that, bastards. I hate that. But yeah, to be fair, iPhone isn't better because of their Lightning port, but they will change that soon. So day 2 is more of ranting on the company that's been feeding me their phones this entire time. And I used to complain, why do people buy iPhones? They're so overpriced, it's not worth it. Now that I've tried iPhone for literally only 2 days. Only 2 days I've tried this phone. And I get the appeal. The software is clean, the software is smooth, everything feels like responsive, it doesn't feel like you're being slowed down at all. Sure, you get way less control over an iPhone compared to an Android. Like an Android you do everything, but like, to be fair, every Android is really basically the same. It's like, every iPhone is its own thing, you know? It's like, oh, okay, this iPhone has this feature, and this one has that feature too. You know what an iPhone looks like when you see one. But when you see an Android, like from Samsung, considering how many similar phones Samsung has, it's like, which phone is that? Is that the Samsung Galaxy A41? No, it's the Samsung Galaxy A51. It's like, oh, of course. It's like, oh, cool. It looks the same. I mean, to be fair, in Samsung's defense, they have been making less similar phones if you look at the flagship phones. On the budget phones, they all look identical. Like, every now and then, the budget phones will look different, but they're basically the same altogether. Yeah, that's about it. Yeah, but like, every Android phone, it's the same thing, except they look, like, the software just looks different. It's like just a simple UI change. It's like, oh, it's like taking this painting, you know? Let's take this painting, for example. So I took this painting, right? And the only thing I did was I changed the colors. Like, okay, these shoes, nah, make them red. This hat, make it blue. Okay, done. And let's say this person was in this spot in the seat. He was like in the seat behind him. It's just Android is just moving features around. It's all the same thing in the end. You just put one place into another, and that's that. It's like, what the hell, man? It's all identical. Oh my god, past me would be so confused why I'm simping for Apple right now, but he would understand if he actually used an iPhone instead of using it for like a minute or two. Seriously, I like Apple now. And don't even forget how good Apple's software support is. That thing is on a whole nother level, especially compared to Sony with their 2 years of software and security updates. This phone is 7 years old. It has iOS 15.7. That is really new for a 7-year-old phone. What does Apple have right now? Like iOS 16? No, I think it's 17. So you're not really that behind if you buy like a couple years old of an iPhone. Like if you buy a Samsung phone, like my phone for example. No, not my phone. Yeah, no. If you were to buy an S21 series phone next year, that phone would be no longer supporting software updates in what? No, it already wouldn't be supporting software updates because those are 3 years only. You'd only have security updates for 2 more years and then done. No more updates. Done. It's like what? That's 5 years. Apple can do it for 2 more years of software updates on top of Samsung's security updates. But to be fair, Samsung is doing a very good job when it comes to Android, but compared to Apple, Apple is doing their darn best, and that's probably because they don't release like a bajillion phones per month. Seriously, Samsung, relax. To be fair, Apple's phones every year don't really have much change, but I hope they will soon. Or 4 to 5 years, I don't know. That phone has no idea what's gonna happen in 4 to 5 years. There's no way I just gained 7% from charging like 3 or 4 minutes. Why do I always look old like this? When did my iPad start using 10 gigabytes of storage? Seriously, look at this. I haven't downloaded anything because I can't download anything. Seriously, what is using 10 gigabytes on this thing? How do I? Whoop. There we go. How am I using 10 gigs? Look, iBooks is like kilobytes. Safari is 1.7 megabytes. What is using this storage? Seriously, it was less than 1 gigabyte of used storage like a couple days ago. How are we at 10 gigabytes? Tell me, Michael. Tell me. Oh, it's because it transferred all my photos and videos to this iPad. Okay. Why? Who told you to do that, Michael? I just want to play Among Us and watch YouTube. Whoa. Whoa, wait a minute. What's that in your hand? What the heck? So, God doesn't like me calling bus drivers dickheads. To be fair, I only called one a bad asshole for splashing billions of liters of water at me twice. And after I mentioned that in the video, God struck me down and purposely worsened my grip on my phone by 1,000,000,000%, and obviously it fell. Dickhead of a bus driver way back there. He was a dick, God. You can't say otherwise. Again, the same bus. And now there's a ton of scratches on the side, so yeah, day 2 of owning an iPhone's not going well. Buy a case, people. It might be expensive, but oh my god, investing in a rugged case will save you hundreds of dollars. And no, not a wallet case. That thing is useless. Oh god, bro, I hate bus drivers. I got splashed by one once, and then the second time when it splashed me, it caused me to drop my phone because it was such a wave of cold goddamn water. There's a crack, like tiny crack, top right of my phone. My iPhone, you know what that means? This phone is basically worth €2. Not really, but it's definitely lost like 50 to 100 euros of value, especially with all the stupid dings on the sides now because of that dickhead bus driver. Imagine owning an iPhone for only 3 days. Like an old iPhone in mint condition, never needed to go to repair except I think the battery one time. and one time you get splashed by a dickhead bus driver, so you tell the world about it, and then the same bus driver splashes you again. What the fuck, man? So I've been on 1% for a long time. Also, I think the speakers are full of water. Let me check. Hold on. Okay, so speakers were full of water. The bus driver is still a dickhead. And I feel really bad I dropped this phone because I really like it. So, screw you, bus driver. He's such a